Good, loving the energy, guys. So my name is Jay. I'm from GIMA Group. We're an alternative investment advisory based in UAE, London, California. We focus on digital assets, tons of fun stuff in gaming, game tech, and the metaverse. We have a super cool panel today. Some amazing, amazing people, very diverse. We're going to be speaking about NFTs, art, gaming, and the merge between physical and digital. To start it off, I'd love if you guys can introduce yourselves. Just give us a little bit about what you do and, I guess your current contribution to the space. Felix, you want to start?
My name is Felix. Good morning, everybody. I lost my voice in Burj Khalifa. Excuse me. I'm the co-founder of several projects, a very long time in the space, since 2014. I kicked off writing a book about Bitcoin because I didn't know how to buy it. That was back in 2013, 14. Rest is history. Since then, we founded a lot of projects and involved in a lot of projects. One of them is Dash. So I'm the co-founder of basically everything Dash in Asia. It's called Dash. It's a sub-DAO. It's a Dash-funded organization. So I'm probably one of the few 100 people in the world who is like actively working in the DAO for over 5 years already. Then came DeFi. Then came GameFi. I don't know what comes next. We are right now building a metaverse, and it's called Space, the project. The whole idea is to take the play-to-earn model out of the gaming realm and putting it into the real world, even though the difference between real and not real is kind of weird, because the internet is very real, and me without Google is very helpless. So what we're doing now is saying we want to build a 3D layer on the internet. And the whole point is this will open lots of job opportunities. My prediction is that in 5 years from now, the metaverse is going to be the biggest job market in the world. And this is what we're here to build.
Awesome. Perfect segue, I guess, for us, because we're from Semper Fortis Esports. My name is Kevin Soltani. Recently, we just listed on the London Stock Exchange as the second gaming company to be listed there on the small cap markets. And for pure play esports, which anybody in the room knows, it's just similar to sports. And why blockchain and esports? There's tournament hosting platforms we're building for anti-hacking, anti-cheating. And then we're really excited about all things metaverse and crypto gaming, which is why I said it was a good segue, because as play to earn is exploding, we can't just deny it and say that it's just a sector. So what we did is we essentially gave the first esports contract to a professional Axie player. And we wanted to take that lead because we do see it as a serious business. So we're starting our crypto gaming division to essentially create professional gamers out of these crypto gamers, but also build infrastructures within in-game assets. We're building some cool things in the metaverse. Can't say yet, but we're going to be joining, hopefully, your metaverse soon. And we're really excited about the e-commerce side as well. So looking forward to it.
My name is Kate. I represent Vass Galerie. I guess I'm most known for being founding this gallery, pioneering one. It's based in Zurich, in Switzerland, focusing on generative art, NFTs, blockchain, artificial intelligence. And we've been in this space physically in comparison with others. So linking the traditional art together with the digital and focusing on art and tech, and hosting various events, introducing CryptoPunks to the world back in 2018, hosting various events and building like exhibitions in Decentraland since 2019 and 2020. We also went to the metaverse and introduced a lot of artists to NFT space. So we are kind of at the roots, at the beginning of the whole hype, but I'm trying to keep up with the quality, because this is the biggest question for me nowadays, that everybody is so excited about gamification of art. Everybody forgot, what art part is, and talking more about the whole tech thing and monetization of that. So yeah, please.
Thanks, Kate. Hi, everybody. My name is Cyrus. I'm the CEO of Splyt. We believe in building a free market that enables peer-to-peer transactions that are safe and secure. We're building a decentralized e-commerce data layer using Web3 technology to promote safe, secure transactions and to prevent centralized entities from mining your data and exploiting you to buy things. We are using NFT technology to use and tokenize real-life assets and their data onto the chain and create a free market that is safe, secure, and transparent.
Love that. Very diverse, but everyone kind of entering the matrix era, as we can see. Cyrus, I'll just start it off with you on the back of that. NFTs in proving kind of ownership and authenticity in the commerce space. How do you do that? What does that mean for the, the regular, I guess, user?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think before I answer it directly, I like to introduce the concept of Web 2 and Web 3, because it's really important that we understand where we are today and where we're going and why it's important using NFTs. So Web 2 was an amazing thing. It brought us the sharing of information, decentralized information. Google, YouTube, Alta Vista, you name it. It helped us gain knowledge quickly, and that's a beautiful thing for society. However, centralized entities found out that the way to monetize, or the winning method to monetize Web 2 was advertising. So what they started doing was mining all of our data and using that data to exploit users to do things such as buy stuff. And that's not good for our psyche and our health, right? Because that dopamine hit every time you see things flashing online or whatever, it's been proven scientifically that's not good for us. So Web 2 was the decentralization of information. However, some bad actors came in, like social media giants or some tech giants that came in and started exploiting users by mining all their data and using it against them. So Web 3 decentralizes that ownership of data, right? So you still have the benefits of Web 2 with this shared information and knowledge. However, Web 3 protects users' data by letting them be empowered to opt in or opt out, and it changes the monetization method from advertising that are in the power of centralized entities into all of the users' own hands, where they could say, hey, I will opt in to let you use my data, but you will pay me back in the form of tokens. So with that, NFTs is the cornerstone of data in Web 3. And I would argue that NFTs are that much more important than cryptocurrencies. I'll even say that like Bitcoin, because it puts our data, which is the most coveted commodity today, and the power of that data into each individual's user's hands. So with e-commerce and products, we tokenize the inventory data as an NFT, and that NFT's life cycle is then tracked and traced via blockchain technology to prevent scams, to prove identity and ownership of products. And we're at the initial stages, so there is a sever between, well, how do you claim that this physical product has this NFT? There are technologies with NFC and RFID tags that will attach a physical product. We're still years away, but we have a system right now that can prove ownership of a product, which will then let you be able to sell that product online, that you could prove you bought it from the original source, that will prevent any type of scam or selling false products. That sort of transparency is lacking in today's e-commerce market, and this is why you have central entities like Amazon or eBay that come in to be that third party to say, hey, if you get scammed, we will be the arbitrator in this thing, and we will make sure that the seller or buyer are protected. Which is, I really appreciate and grateful for what they have brought since the dot-com boom. But like all things, we evolve, right? And we're at a point where Satoshi Nakamoto really gave us some awesome technology, and my purpose is to harness this technology and build a social utility for society to build a more safe, transparent system where we could trade online. And I would like to, Kevin, you're in the esports metaverse space. As we move more digital, it's really imperative that we build psychological safety in how we handle our data in Web 3, so we all feel safe and secure online. So that's essentially how we're starting the NFT revolution.
Digital ownership at its finest. I mean, it only makes sense, right? Kate, I mean, you're someone I've been loving to speak about. You own one of the first physical galleries, art, specializing in kind of mixing the tech with the art space. How do you see the NFT space as it stands today in the art form? And what are your thoughts on kind of KYC AML with digital art?
Yeah, I think, for us it makes sense, like for a traditional art market, it's very opaque and it's very kind of closed society of people, and they are very reluctant to embrace the change, any change, regardless of whether it's good or whether it's bad. And also, the reluctancy comes probably also from fear that, that this sort of mysterious waves of how this art market operates is going to open up and people will find out and everything will become very transparent. So for me, when I found the gallery, this is basically was the purpose of it. I hate it as a client, as a collector, because I collected for more than 10 years. To constantly, deal with this. Today is one price, another is another price. Today, one dealer gives you one thing. The provenance is a question. The pricing is a question. You always have to dig and investigate and make your research in order to collect this data. And now, like, and I said, hey, I want to make it different. I want to make it, first of all, different for the artists, that actually they come to power, and they can control and also benefit, because they actually invest the most of the time in creating the artwork. And then, I want to be transparent to the clients, because this is very important, and the new generation of clients, they also would like to have this transparency. And luckily for me, I'm concentrating on generative art, which is naturally digital. So it comes without saying that, before 2018, there was a big trouble. I mean, we did a lot of events. We hosted many sessions with legal copyright people and everything. We were looking at alternative solutions, how to transfer the file, like if it's a video work, for example, or if it's a digital file or some sort of installation, from the possession of the artist to the collector without leaving any traces, right? And also in addition to that, have this sort of certificate of authenticity that this transaction took place and he is now the owner, right? And there is no any other kind of data left in between, via Dropbox or something. And blockchain was the logical solution to use for the naturally digital artists, right? So as soon as I kind of embraced the technology, and I am also like an early adopter of the cryptocurrencies, I started to look, to roll up like an exhibition as well, who is using this technology already. We're always complaining there are no Michelangelos and no Picassos nowadays. But at the end of the day, I mean, we are among those people who are pioneers in the world and using the new technology as a tool to express themselves artistically. So those basically that I represent, they're all creme de la creme of the art and tech society, and the OGs, like how they call it, the nickname now in Twitter. And back in 2018, we had a beautiful exhibition focusing on blockchain. The funny thing, in this exhibition, there was not a single NFT. Everything was physical. And you had to kind of go and screen, and even the CryptoPunks, which were hanging for the first time, printed 24 of them on the gallery walls, they were accompanied by the sealed envelope for the collector to challenge the collector. Basically, it's a conceptual work that if you believe that the digital component will become more valuable than the physical one, then you can kind of rip off the sealed envelope and access the digital wallet, like to grant the access to the digital component on that. Within this, almost 4 years, all the collectors that have purchased that. It's a big success story for them. You know, like they also benefited a lot from that. Nobody opened up the envelope, but on top of this, they also got an additional MIBIT from Larva Labs, you know, integrated into this kind of contract, which is still sealed under this envelope. So it's kind of, you know, like many artists now also say, is it the artwork collects you now, or is it you collecting the work? So, you know, the rules of game have changed as well, you know, how you operate in the whole system. Sorry, what was your question? Oh
Definitely. Well, on the back of what Cyrus was saying, you know, NFTs.
I can talk for hours. I mean, stop me.
You hit it.
NFTs to proof ownership in art, I guess, on the back of what Cyrus was saying.
KYC and ML. Okay, sorry, I'm going to make
Well,
it
look, let's
short.
pivot over to Kevin for a second. Kevin, you're in esports and gaming. Obviously, massive industry right now. What are you doing as Semper Fortis, kind of in the play-to-earn space, in the blockchain gaming space? It's massively blowing up. You know, we've heard of Axie kind of hitting 3 billion last week in valuation. What are some of the things you're excited about?
Yeah, like just on the back of Axie, like I'm taking it very seriously. I think we're not just going all in, we're putting our money where our mouth is, but we take it very seriously. I see it as a competition. I see it as a growth platform for franchises to get involved. I'm looking at the 10 years down the line, and I'm seeing 100 new games. Felix and I were talking about it yesterday, maybe 1,000 new games, you know, in the next 10 years. So you're not even scratching the surface of what could be, I think, the world's most valuable game, or it hasn't even been created, or it won't be created for a couple more years now, but until maybe a AAA publisher comes in and then takes it over. But I think what we're doing that's very exciting is combining the physical and digital, which is cliche, that's what we're all doing, but esports has always been digital. Gaming has always been digital. You're behind a console, you're behind a computer, and what a beautiful thing these NFTs and in-game assets are doing. Had I had this vehicle, you know, 12, 15 years ago, for any gamers in the room who wasted their life playing World of Warcraft like I did, it wouldn't have been a waste, because that sword that I would have had in game after 12, 15 years would now be worth, you know, one of the more expensive swords. So, you know, that's a very low-level example of what an in-game asset is, but it's actually a $1 trillion market to be in the next 10 years. And if you just look at the volume, if you compare the art and in-game assets, it's actually, and I have such high respect for the art market, but the volumes are incredibly small compared to in-game assets, transactions, again, volume just in total. Axie right now has a couple million items, right? Zrun, these are games that have multiple thousands of, and then you look at the secondary markets, and you look at the transaction, it's just insane. They're constantly changing hands. So we're going all in. We've invested. Also, like I said, I truly believe it. I truly believe it as a future game. And then the metaverse, you know, I think we should all also take it seriously. It's not a joke. I loved what he just said, that the largest job creator in the next, I think, decade, you said, would be in the metaverse. That's a no-brainer, right? You just got to think about, it's a build it and they will come. And a lot of people aren't building it, so nobody's coming. Decentraland's at about 20 or 30% capacity, right? When it gets to about 80 or 90% capacity and there's 20 other metaverses, and they're maybe good or better, then which one's going to be Rodeo Drive? Which one's going to be Champs-Élysées? You know, which one is going to be, you know, the monument, you know, art? So I think that they're going to see hundreds of them, and then they're going to be categorized. So I'll leave it there and segue to space.
Yeah.
Well, brilliant. I mean,
the NFTs are the backbone of the metaverse. It really takes how we operate in the physical world and makes being in the digital metaverse world possible, because we can't duplicate things. I mean, that's what made Bitcoin so awesome, is that, you know, back in the day, we would trade through like cattle, commodity, or whatever, and you couldn't duplicate a cattle. But in the digital era, you know, you could just right-click, copy, and then you could duplicate money, right? And that's why we have banks, to prevent, you know, the duplication of money, that middleman, to ensure that they take money out of our accounts into the other account. With NFTs and the metaverse, it prevents duplication, like we have this laws of physics in reality today. So I'm really excited to see where this goes with NFTs and metaverse.
Definitely an element that's being plugged into Web3. And
yeah.
Felix, what are your thoughts on the metaverse? Where is the metaverse in the next 5 years? You know, What industries do you see dominating? That's
every industry. Let's just take out for a second like all the buzzword bingo of blockchain and technology and blah blah blah, right? The iPhone, everybody uses a smartphone not because you can explain the technology. Everybody of you uses the internet not because you can explain me what TCP/IP is, right? Think yourself back in 1998 when the first companies came in and said, yeah, we should have a web page, and it's like, what the hell is a web page? Right? And they came up with really shitty stuff because they didn't have a business model nor a vision. 10 years later, I just said I cannot live without Google Maps. Like, what am I doing? Like asking people for the way, or it's like that was like so normal back in the day, right? So now just look at what's happening right now.
You don't carry your Thomas guide around?
Say again?
You don't carry your Thomas guide around anymore? No? Was that an American thing?
You're gonna do that. So I tell you what, we hired in the last 2 months over 200 people that are playing Axie's Infinity for us, and what we're doing is we're bringing in investors, buying NFTs for them, managing NFTs, and letting players use these NFTs to generate yield for our investors, right? So bam, that's already around 2 to 3 million
Kinda
people.
Like farming. Farming, right?
Yeah, it's
In
a new way of, like, let me come to that in a second, right? It's like a new way of generating value within an economy, in this case, Axie's Infinity. You just said there's multiple games, right? There's huge game economies. An economy is about a marketplace. Economy is about supply and demand, matching it, getting transaction volume. This is what it's about, right? It doesn't matter, is it a bazaar where I buy a perfume? Is it a World of Warcraft where I want to play something? Is it an art gallery where I want to do something, right? So at the end of the day, it comes down to economic opportunities and social activities, right? I mean, why are we in the internet? Why am I on Facebook? Because I like that people like my stuff, right? It's like, why am I on Facebook? Because I want to get the ad deal because I have so many people who like my stuff, right? It's as simple as that. So and this is exactly the same what is happening right now with Axie's Infinity. We hire 200 people, we give them a job. I truly believe this is a social thing to do, right? And it's so much better to have these people right now playing Axies, honestly, than standing in 7-Eleven or being unemployed because they just lost their job in Southeast Asia because the tourism, broke away for obvious reasons in the last years, right? So we give 200 people a job that didn't have one before or that had a job that is probably doesn't make them happier, right? And it's kind of, young people that are studying at the side, it's like there's so many new opportunities. And this is why I just said, like, our new project, Space, is taking this even more serious to say, it's like gaming is nice, but at the end of the day, it's like the internet, right? You can create jobs and it will open a multitude of new opportunities that we just simply cannot see because we're lack of the vision and it's so weird to go into a metaverse, right? I mean, just imagine it, but it was so weird to go to the internet. The first time I went to the internet, I made an email address. I was like, yeah, but who am I writing now an email to, right? And then we had web portals who said, okay, go to the news site here, right? Now I go to the internet, I have like 200 tabs open, and I need to click all of them because there's so much to do.
Massive.
Right? I don't even, and farming and everything. So again, it boils down to economic opportunities for people. If you give somebody a job, he has a job, he can earn money, right? And if he has a job he likes, that's valuable. And I mean, just look at how many people don't like their job right now. And again, the second part is all the social activity. I want to have buddies, I want to have friends. I'm a human. I like to talk, I like to hang out with you. It's as simple as that. So it's really beyond the blockchain technology and beyond all that. Don't bother about it, just start using it. Also, this is something, right? I hear so many people saying, hey, like, I don't know, I'm new into blockchain,
Well,
I would like
Felix,
to work there.
Where do you start, right? Where does one start? If I don't know anything about the metaverse, there's so many out there. Fortnite was my first, essentially, metaverse that wasn't what it is today, but where do I start? What do I look like?
With like everything in the world, I would start on YouTube. Just checking out a couple of videos, like invest 2 hours of your time into something. And after, try it out. It's not only with the metaverse, it's even with crypto, right? Get your first crypto transaction, pay a cheeseburger with crypto, then get a MetaMask wallet, start a little farming, and next thing you know, you have a sword or a starship in the metaverse.
Well, look, what I mean is, what metaverse do you see as a kind
I
of...
was going to jump in and say, we have a kind of common theme here, where from art, e-commerce, right? It's commerce. It's economies. We have to create it and build it into the company. It's community, but it's commerce, right? If they're just going to come walk through Decentraland and not buy or view or purchase or play or jump and run, what's the point, right? We just Cyrus was talking about those one-of-ones. You can't copy my Gucci, but I could go down the street here and find a fake one. I can find 100 fake ones. So that, again, low-level examples of really high-level economies being built. So we got to create, from freaking barbershops. That will exist, right? Low-level stuff, again, like Louis Vuitton should be there already, right? Gucci's there, right? And you're looking at these big brands. But if you're looking at, again, very weird, next-level stuff, a barber. If it were lawyers.
Franchises?
Yeah, sure, franchise. Well, Domino's is going to go into the next GTA. Into the next Grand Theft Auto. That game is going to change everything because it's already doing what the metaverse wants to do, but it's it's a AAA game. Now, if you add NFTs in that, and if you go to the GTA art gallery, and you can, this is all.
Nike just hired their first metaverse lead, right?
Nike.
Yeah,
There's
Nike.
a collision of metaverse and e-commerce that's going to happen. I mean, really, our companies are so undervalued right now because the way we could go back to how society had come to where we are today, and it was based on trade, right? We were able to trade with each other, grow, and exchange goods and services. So when we go into the metaverse right now, it's going to open up so many opportunities for retail. Like the future of retail is going to be metaverse, and Splyt is going to be there building the backbone to enable this trade in a peer-to-peer way that's safe and secure and prevents spam and fraud. So, like right now, we had e-commerce spin up in the dot-com boom. We had social media influencers. We have affiliates. All of these things were ways that brands and retail will tap into to find their customers, right? And a lot of it was based on the ad, right? Ad monetization method, which was harmful to users. But as we move towards the metaverse, it's opening up new doors for retailers to come and rise above the noise, right, and give an experiential experience. Sorry, that's a double word, but it gives an experience to consumers to come in and buy something, right? Getting a physical, actual product that's tied to a digital product, so I could dress my NFT product to my avatar and walk around like showing off my new Chucks, right? But I'll also get a physical item in the mail where I could wear. And this is going to change e-commerce big time.
But look at what's going on with like Zwift. Zwift, the bike, it's not a metaverse. It's a game, but it's physical. But if you look at what Zwift has done in-game, you can now buy jerseys, right, which aren't NFTs. But again, you see how close we are. Zwift is a very big company. And they're making a lot of, but there's a physical activity. Right, and if they were to do NFTs, it's already there. We're very close. It's just one little leap of faith that and now we just heard Nike just hired their first metaverse consultant, right, advisor?
I think lead.
So they're going to build something. And if anybody's seen the Justin Bieber metaverse for his album drop, music is a big thing. Music. We didn't even get to touch upon music, right? And festivals, right? And you said Fortnite. Travis Scott did that in Fortnite. That's not a metaverse. That's a game. But we're right there. We're right there. And I said, if you charged me $50 to get into that Travis Scott Part 2, I would have paid it.
Well, it's definitely a bridge, right? It's the bridge between the artist and the in-game, and the physical and the digital. And I think it's super interesting when you look at businesses trying to find their way commerce into that digital space. They're very traditional, physical, and the metaverse is kind of their pathway to the digital space, whether it's e-com or whatever. But super, super interesting there. Just to continue the conversation.
If I may add two things, right? I mean, right now, it's really the job creator, right? It's really about people. Number one, like big corporations, they don't know what to do, right? We were just talking about like what is Nike doing, right? It's like you cannot just make a Nike store like, okay, I click a T-shirt here, and now it's in the metaverse, the T-shirt spins in 3D. Yeah, you could do that, but honestly, it's like friggin' boring, right? If you want to do really something, make an immersive experience now with the internet, and like really reimagine something, you can build a 3D web page. It's completely, it's mind-blowing if you take a little time to become creative, right? It's not just, put a T-shirt and and replicate the same experience. It's frigging boring, right? And we will see that happening in a few years. Number two, like, there is so many people now that that can come in and enter a global market, right? Like everybody, like a guy from Africa, a guy from the Philippines can open a business and sell it to the whole world, right? And this is like really mind-blowing and amazing. Even if you look at the numbers, I mean, look at the Super Bowl, look at the World Championship in football, right? The number of people who fit in a stadium is just, ridiculously small compared to an esport Fortnite finals already.
Yep, absolutely.
With like, what, 150 million people, right? So if you really have a vision
some of these
of
experiences
monetization.
already exist, right? So like, I could go to Alibaba Noon or Amazon and post things and everybody could get it. But again, it's putting the power away from the central entities back into our hands. And then
Exactly.
we could decide our fate and how we want to interact with each other.
Yeah. If you're in Nigeria and open a web store on Amazon, right, you will get blocked because they don't trust that you can accept a credit card payment in Nigeria without being a scam.
So one thing we haven't talked about is the token NFT relationship, right? So you have NFTs. I could post an NFT for sale, whether it's tied to a physical product or not. But how do we know that the seller has good intentions? How do we know they're not a bad actor, right? So we could collateralize NFTs with tokens by putting a little bit of a deposit into it. So like Amazon or eBay charge people to post things for sale, right? And they keep all of that for profits. But if we harness the power of blockchain and smart contract escrows, we could collateralize the NFT with like a few tokens. Once the transaction's successful, then the seller gets those tokens back, right? And this creates a safe environment for buyers and sellers that don't know each other, removes the counterparty risk, and a buyer will know that, hey, if this is a bad actor that doesn't actually send me the NFT or send me the physical product tied to that NFT, they would lose that deposit. So there's a really cool way, and I know this is what we're pioneering here at Splyt, that we could collateralize NFTs with tokens to ensure the safety in a peer-to-peer transaction.
We're at a blockchain crypto conference, right? This is a right. We forgot about that. We're still here. Like, but the metaverse. You guys just gave an example, Nigeria and across. You don't have to use one crypto, right? That's the beauty of the metaverse. You get to choose what your store accepts. If I go down the street, I have to pay in dirham. If I go to America and all I have is dirham, I have to exchange it.
Yep.
In the metaverse, right, that doesn't work like that. There's going to be, maybe not now, mostly it's Ether and Solana, but in the future, it won't be just those two. And so I think that's the beauty of making the world a smaller place, and the metaverse is going to do that. So you're 150 million for Fortnite, right? Travis Scott, 27 million people attended, 13 million people got locked out. They couldn't get in. Okay, that's a ticket. You did $1 per ticket. Last thing I'll say about the NFT beauty is just we haven't even touched about other industries. Everything you just said is about real estate, right? We don't have much time to go into it, but how many beautiful things can you bake into an NFT that can help the real estate industry? And I know that's very different than what we've talked about, but that's the beauty of what I see in NFT is the next evolution. I love art, I love gaming, and all of that, but once real estate gets hit in, you can bake in some beautiful things, lockups and interest rates and things like that. So we're excited, and I think that, like you said, it's just, you got to separate the token.
Any other industries, guys? I see music could be another one. Any IP-backed communities. Any other ones? Real estate is a great one.
Everything. One thing I know in blockchain is that I don't know what's up next month.
It's been very art-based so far. I'm sure you can agree. Is that a bubble? When do you think we can see more from other industries?
He said the B word. He said the B word. Is it a bubble?
I could chime in a little bit. I mean, it really depends, right? So there are utility behind some of these art NFTs, such as like Bored Ape Yacht Club. They are creating a global community that gives them access. It's a membership. So if your digital art's tied to membership, there is utility where you could come in and say, hey, there is something more than just like a JPEG or whatever it may be. So is there a bubble for art? Probably, maybe. Everything's a bubble, right? The market.
Kate, this one was for you.
Talk about gaming. Real estate.
She just told you to stick to your day job.
Yeah.
I'm just chiming in with my thoughts.
No, but
No,
we really want to hear from you. Like,
I can
what
tell
is
you,
this?
like NFTs, probably 99% are bullshit. Like, in terms of art, we're not talking about sport industry. I'm not talking about music. I'm not talking about real estate, gaming, and stuff like that. But the concept NFTs is huge. This is the key here. And whatever you say, each of us, like it's all about community. It's all about building completely different ecosystem. And this is also, which is huge for art market. So probably, with this positive statement that, NFTs and the quality of it, in terms of art, yes, probably it is a little bubbly. Yeah, but like if we use this business case wisely and for other industries like gaming and, ecosystem, to build up the community around it, of course, then I see a potential, huge potential. And I think we are going to see some development within the next 5 years, like completely going to change how we see things. It's like
we didn't get to talk about VR in the metaverse. We didn't
Yeah.
get, you want to add another 40? No.
Yeah, we can go on for hours. 45. Okay, Rohit's giving us the... Anyway, thank you guys for listening. Everyone on the panel, we love this. And welcome to the Matrix, everyone. Trescon, thank you for having us. Appreciate it.
I mean, if anybody wants to come talk to us, I know there's a couple people trying to ask questions. Come find all our panelists.
All around.
We're happy to
Find
talk
us in the
to y'all.
metaverse.
That's right.
You'll find us all in a metaverse near you.
the metaverse, yes, avatars.
Awesome.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.